Alrighty, folks, how's it going out there? Rooster and 10, roostercb.com. Got a pretty interesting item here we're going to take a look at today. And this one will be for sale. It'll be on roostercb.com under used equipment specials. Shipping will be figured into the price unless you live in Alaska or Hawaii. If you're one of the guys that lives out there, be sure and get with me after you buy it, and we will get you a shipping quote together, or message me before you buy it. That way you're not blindsided by shipping and insurance on it. But other than that, everybody else, continental U.S., it'll be free shipping quote on the price. HDE 2000 mobile amp. Pretty interesting little box here. We're going to take the covers off of it during the second part of this video and show you guys the inside of it. Reason being, 12 matched Toshiba 2879 is what it's supposed to have in it. I think they're non-red dots, so if I had to guess, I would say that they are probably the original transistor that came in this amp. And the way I'm going to price this thing, I'm going to price it at some value, I believe, just based on what people are getting on these on the market. Toshiba transistors, Toshiba pills, used good ones. From what I can tell, typically look like they're bringing $150 a piece. And you guys can do the math on what that would be on this amp if we were charging $150 a transistor times 12. Would be quite a bit, but we're going to beat that by a considerable amount. I think you guys will find some good value in that. Now, I'm sure some people look at this and be like, oh, whoa, man, I'm not paying that kind of money for that amp. Look at that thing. Well, like I said, the value is really in the transistors. Now, you could buy this thing and run it. There's nothing wrong with it. Needs some new fans on it. They've just got these fans kind of sitting up here flopping around. It really needs 4 fans on it, to be fair. 2 in the front and then 2 in the back is the way I would set it up. But again, back to the price of it, you can't buy Toshiba transistors for what I'm gonna sell the whole amp for. So that'll be kind of how we do that. But let's test it. We'll see how it does here. Again, second half of this video, we'll take the covers off and take a look. I'm sure, as old as it is, it's not going to be perfect on the inside. But again, where else are you going to find 12 Toshiba transistors for the price I'm going to list this thing at? On and off switch on the front, just rather simple. This turns the fans on. Again, I'm not a big fan of these fans. Somebody just put those on there so it would have a little bit of cooling. But again, I would put 4 fans on it. I think if you're going to keep this amp and run it, you put 4 fans on top of it, it would essentially be bulletproof. And they've rated it at 2,000, so don't expect to see like 3 kW out of this. You'd probably have to drive it pretty hard to get that much out of it. As far as how much you could drive into it, my thing multimeter going off over here telling me that it's still turned on. As far as how much you could put into it, 450, 500 watts PEP, that'd probably be about it with 12 Toshibas. We're not going to hit it that hard. I'll actually show you guys what this thing is doing. This is my 2970 N2. I've used it in some videos before. I think it does about 150 average and about 350 or so PEP. So we're going to be hitting it decent, but not near, what I would call max drive out of it. So it could take a little more and do a little more. But it'll be a good test of its functionality, I guess. With that said, let's test it and see how it does. We're going to do our radio output first. I've just got my 2500 out here. I've only got 2 slugs that I pretty much keep out here all the time. One's my 5000, and then the 2500 that's in there, because we're usually testing bigger amps out here. Top scale, this is just average power. Oh. Turn the amp off. I had my arm sitting on the amp. It didn't like me touching it like that. Hello, audio. There's your average power. Again, we're looking at the top scale. It's showing about 150 average, give or take. And then PEP. Check. It's probably showing a little bit loose, being on that 2500, but that's showing like 375 or so. If we put a 500 watt slug in here, it'd probably show a little bit less. But let's pop that out. Put our 5000 in. Now we'll be looking at the middle scale. Yeah, we'll be looking at the middle scale here. Let's go ahead and turn our amp on. Turn our fans on for what it's worth. Give us a little bit of cooling anyway. Alrighty. These fans are actually pushing some pretty good air. I can feel it blowing over here. If you had 4 of those on there, you'd probably be okay. But I don't really like the look of those myself. This is average power first, so we're looking at the middle scale here. Okay, 400 watt dead key. Audio. About 950 to 1,000 average. It's making my power supply drop 0.1 volts. Audio. Right around 1,000, just a little bit less. And then this is going to be your PEP, or peak power. Still looking at that middle scale. Audio. Check. 1. 2 kW. All right. So that's it. And that's what they've rated this thing at. They rated it at 2 kW. As you see, 2,000. I'm assuming that's what they were meaning by that. So anything after that's kind of a bonus. It's not hot, but even with that short key, you can feel a little bit of warmth on it. Not hot at all, just slightly above room temperature or whatever. But what I'm going to do now, guys, I'm going to pause the video, obviously, and then take the covers off. We'll take it and put it on the other test bench. We got a little bit better lighting in there. So we'll take it in there and take the screws out of it. I think it's only got 4 screws holding it together, or holding the cover on it. So, and then we'll take a look, take some pictures, and get this guy listed up on the website. All right, thanks everybody. Rooster and 10, roostercb.com. We will be back. All right, guys, here we are. We've got the cover off of it. I messed up and hit the button on my camera, so I'm going to have to mesh these 2 videos together. But we got the covers off of it. It looks about like what I would expect on the inside. You know, it's a little ugly. It's old. Transistors are nice and bright and colorful, though, so that's a good thing. And it is non-red dot Toshiba 2879s. Now, some of these, you'll probably have a hard time seeing that they match, but they are matching. If I can get my camera to focus. See if we can get down here close where you guys can see. Was that 7D? I couldn't tell if it was 7D or 7Q, but you know, you can just go through here. Like this one, it's kind of hard to tell. That was, I guess, the glue from the transistor, but you can barely, you know, vaguely see it in there. Right here. Over here, same sort of thing. All matching though, okay? Again, that's what I'm talking about when I say that's the value in the amp. With people out here selling used but good Toshibas for $150 a piece, I mean, I'm not going to ask near that out of this amp, not even close. So just keep that in mind. I know some people will see it and be like, "Oh, that ugly thing, I wouldn't pay that for it." It's a working amp, but you can part it out and have you some good value in the transistors if you want. Now, as far as if you keep this thing and run it, what would you expect out of it? You know, realistic output, I would say tops 2,500 watts or so. I don't think this is a 3 kW amp at all. I think you'd be, you know, 2,300 to 2,500 watts with 450 to 500 watts in would pretty much do it for this thing. Or just run it kind of like I did in the video at 2 kW and be happy with it. Here's the overview. Now, I'm going to say something here, and just to be blunt, because that's the way I am, up front and blunt with you guys. You guys know the deal on most CB stuff anyway. Everything's pretty much sold as is. That's why I do the test videos, to show you it was working when it left here. That said, you buy this thing and you decide to run it. It is working right now, and it could last you another 10 years. It could last you another 10 days. It could last you another 10 weeks. It could last you another 10 months. I don't want to hear a thing about this if you get it and you end up having a failure on it. Okay, Toshiba transistors, there's nothing I can do to help you get this thing fixed, because I don't keep Toshibas here on hand. So when you buy this thing, you need to know that if you decide to run it and you don't have any spare transistors, you're looking at $150 to replace a transistor in there. Now again, it's ran for a long time. It seems to be a super durable amp that's kind of stood the test of time. But with this sort of thing, um, like I said, it could last you 10 years or it could last you 10 days. There's nothing really wrong with it now. Appears to be, aside from being a little ugly on the inside, everything appears to be okay just at a glance. But I've ran into that before, selling somebody a 4-pill Toshiba like bass amp, and then they get it and they blow a Toshiba out of it, and then they're jumping up and down, hooping, hollering, wanting a refund or wanting me to fix it for them, and that's just not happening. And you're not going to send me an amp back that you blew transistors out of, and then I have to come up with Toshibas myself. That is definitely not going to happen. So you buy this thing, guys. I'm just being blunt, being upfront, because I don't want anybody to have any hard feelings or any surprises when you buy it. The return policy, the warranty policy, all that stuff is on the website, but I'm especially saying it for this amplifier or any amp that has Toshibas in it, especially. If you don't have spare transistors, or you're not buying this because of spare transistors, then you might think twice. Okay? I might be talking some people out of buying it, but that's just the way I am. I would rather talk you out of buying it than set you up for failure. And I don't think this amp is going to fail anytime soon, as far as that goes. I'm not saying that because I think it's like on the brink of destruction here. I think it's fine, but I'm just saying that because I don't want anybody to buy this and then have a oopsie, a high SWR or something, something happens, and then there's hard feelings over it. All right, that's it, guys. Thanks. Rooster in 10, roostercb.com. We'll take some pictures and get it listed up. See you. Bye.